Good afternoon. Welcome to Sunday, January 17th, 2015. It's cold and snowy today. I don't know how cold I have yet to go outside, but everything is kind of covered in the white stuff to an extent. And I was coming down real good about an hour ago, and now it's slowed down a little bit. So I don't have much on the docket today. I really don't know what's going on at all. Somebody else just texted me. Wants to watch Breaking Bad and get a pizza, so that sounds good. It looks like we're going to do that. Before we do that, I'm going to hold up my promise when I said that I would discuss the California plans before the end of winter break, and that's what we're going to do. So, anticipating this going a while, I have a secondary battery all charged up and ready to go. I wanted to use the GoPro, then I remember that GoPro batteries last between 5 and 7 seconds when fully charged, so we're not going to do that. In the snow, things are pretty by some people's standards, so we're gonna go out, we're gonna jump in the 330, I'm gonna lace up my booties, and we're gonna go for a quick drive while I discuss the plans. So welcome to today, and I hope you're patient. I got the plow trucks going by today. Not plowing, there's not really enough snow to plow, but they've been dumping salt down like crazy. In preparation for, I think, just kind of snow showers throughout the day and night. Actually, I think there's like up to 6 inches coming. I don't know. I haven't driven the 330 since I washed it, so it's still, or had it washed, so it still looks pretty clean right now. That's not going to last here, about 2 more minutes. Just really hoping it isn't frozen over, so I don't have to wait for the windshield to. Yeah, that might wipe off. Doors half frozen shut. It's bullshit. And you guys got all ticked off that I start this thing too fast. Well, I do go a little slower with the M5 to be fair. But if you want, what is that position? Position 2. We got a lot of lights on. Less lights. Brake, seatbelt, check engine, battery and oil stay on. And then we start. Ooh, and even get some tick. That goes away quickly as oil pressure builds up. Oh hell. Frozen over. We're gonna have to wait. This is the joint as the German toys come out to play. We even get the little German polka Oktoberfest music. Yeah. Yeah, this is also a little bit of fun here. We've been having the coolant light come on for the first 3 to 4 minutes I drive the car. I'm not kind to the cooling system. I immediately crank it up to 80. I keep the fan speed low, but I put it up on 80 right away. So my thought is it's sucking all the coolant into the heater core, and then it's a little low, and then it goes away after a couple minutes. So I probably just need to top that off. Engine gets that warm before the light's off. So I don't know what that means, I just gotta check it. But every time I come home and the car's warm and I'm not freezing, then obviously I can't check coolant. When it's hot and I open it up, it'd probably steam. I think these M54s run something around, probably around 100 degrees Celsius, I would think. And that would be a little on the hot side to pop open. The M5 doesn't care. I can drive that 6 hours, open the coolant reservoir tank, and no steam, no pressure, nothing. Okay, clean windshield, and we're downtown, so you can't trace back to where I live. Here we begin. I know this battery is only going to last a few minutes here, so we'll be switching momentarily. So, I'm moving to California. I've lived in Ohio my whole life. I was born in Akron Children's Hospital, December 18th, 1993. What was that for a mouthful? I was really fortunate, and still am, to travel the amount that I have and do, and hopefully can continue to do. In my early years, I went with my parents all over the Caribbean. They took me down to Barbados and St. Lucia and several islands. Not that I remember a whole lot of it, but I know I did it. We went to Hawaii as a family in 2000 for my grandparents' I believe 50th. It would have been 98. 1998 50th anniversary. It was like 3 weeks. I think we did a couple islands, 3, 4, 5 islands. Long trip. And then consistently we would go to Fort Myers Beach, Florida. It was like every year for several years. I don't know how long. Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, we'd go down to Fort Myers Beach. We had a, I don't know what you call it, a condo type thing, where we'd spend time, usually in March. Had a couple days on either end of spring break back in early school. And then after the Florida thing, we started going to California. My dad worked at Progressive Insurance at the time. He was out in, I would probably guess, LA fairly frequently, which somehow turned into going down to San Diego. Found out he really liked that, so we did a couple family vacations. I want to say 01, 02, 03. Really, we were watching some home movies over this winter break, and we did a lot of stuff. I'm going to flip around and film this way. This might be a little more interesting. So we would like fly into LA, a couple days in Los Angeles, then we drive up the coast roads, stop at the Monterey Aquarium, do all the little touristy things. We went to Santa Cruz Amusement Park one day. We would do Muir Woods, time in San Francisco, up in Marin County, Sausalito, you know, everything. We'd go down to San Diego and stay. If you guys remember a couple years ago, I'd go down there with my grandparents or my dad, and we would stay at the Coronado Island Marriott, right across the bay from downtown. We stayed there with my family, the 4 of us, in probably 03. That was a long trip. And then we'd hit like a couple hotels. We'd go down to San Diego for a week maybe, and then drive halfway up the coast for a couple more days, and then some more time up in the Bay Area. Doing a lot of traveling there. And I remember as a kid, that was just a blast to be in the sun, on the beach, the palm trees, the mountains, everything I love about it now, I kind of got a taste of way back then. Then in 04, we went to Aruba on vacation, which is right down off South America. In 05, we did a cruise, a Royal Caribbean cruise. 06 was Grand Cayman, another island. 07 was Cancun. 08 was Jamaica. I think 09 we didn't go anywhere. And then 2010 was Aruba again. So no California in there for about a decade. Actually, 8 years. And then I went back in March of 2011, and this is all in the vlogs, with my grandparents. We flew into LA, we stayed in Marina Del Rey. That's when my grandmother fell, spent the whole time up in Glendale at the hospital. Bob and I then went down to San Diego for a week. There's nothing we could do. My dad flew in, took her home, then we hit Vegas on the way back. That was 2011. 2012 is when my dad moved from here. There's an M3 over there. He's lived in Ohio, had lived in Ohio his whole life, 50 some years, and then he moved to San Diego in 2012, following employment, and that's always what he's wanted to do. Inner logo's blue? Not sure. But anyway, so he moved in 2012, and you guys probably remember that. Kenan and I drove his X5 across the country from actually only about 7 miles down here, all the way to his first apartment in San Diego, and that was fun. And then I was there for probably 10 days. I think the whole trip was 2 weeks, and it was maybe 4 days to get there, so we were there for 10 days. And about, you know, it was before this point that I knew I wanted to move there. I kind of had the idea after looking at all these pictures and remembering what it was like in about 2010 and thinking, I've got to get back there. It's been a long time. I really want to go back. So talked my grandparents into the vacation. We went for spring break, as I mentioned, in 2011, and loved it. I really like almost everything about it. It's a high cost of living. That's definitely a big downside. It's very populated. I really like Los Angeles. I love visiting there. I wish I could go up there for a couple days every time I were in Southern California. But I don't know that I would want to live there. I could for maybe a short time if I had a job while I'm still fairly young. It would probably be fun to live in the city or around the city, just for the excitement purposes of it. But San Diego is so much, to me, it feels cleaner, it feels more relaxed, it's more laid back, definitely more chill. Probably a little safer, a little less traffic. I know the area a lot better, so I do prefer San Diego. Now, honestly, I like San Francisco maybe more than either LA or San Diego, but the cost of living up there is higher yet. Not nearly as good a weather, and it's a very different feel up there, but it'll be really cool to be in the same state and be able to get a $70 flight up there if I want to do a weekend or something, go to the Pebble Beach show in August, cool stuff like that. So where am I going with this? That's how I kind of got the idea I wanted to go there, and then the several trips since my dad has moved there. You know, 2015 may have been a record. I was there in March for spring break. I was there in June with Luke. I was there in August with Bobby and Michael, and then I was back in November just for fun and for Thanksgiving. So I made a ton of trips out there in 2015. 2014, I think I made it twice. 2013, I was unable to make the spring break, but I made it in the summer. And then 2012 is when he moved there. So a lot of travels. I have not yet second-guessed it, and I don't see that happening. So I'm pretty sure that's where we're going to end up for a while. Now, as far as moving logistics go, I'm a senior at Kent State. I can't tell you the number of credits because I don't remember. I will in a couple days when I get back invested in that stuff again. But for now, I know that I need 2 more semesters. The spring of 2016, which is starting in 2 days, that'll be my first semester, 15 credit hours. Then I need next fall, that's another semester, 15 credit hours, and I'm going to be 3 short. So over the summer, I'm going to pick up some easy, lightweight class, 3 credit hours, get it done in a couple weeks online, and then providing everything else goes well, I will graduate December 2016, which is this year, December 10th or 14th or something. It's right before Christmas this year, so 11 months. I should have graduated if I completed everything in 4 years this upcoming May. I changed majors. I was originally a airport management major, aviation management major. Kind of wanted to be a pilot or ATC. Both of those are incredibly stressful. You get shit on the first decade of your career. You really don't have much of a life outside of it. So unfortunately, I passed that up for now. I do still intend to get a private pilot's license in the future. Absolutely. I don't know when yet. That'll be in California. So graduate next December, then the plan is to move fairly soon after that. If it's a matter of days or weeks, it'll be pretty damn soon after I graduate. And then moving logistics, well, this is where the car comes into it. So I have the 330. Everybody says drive the 330 out, ship the M5 and drive the 330. I don't want to put that many miles on it, 1. 2, I don't want to deal with mechanical issues of a 230,000 almost mile car driving 3,000 miles in 3 days. I don't want to deal with that. It's worth more here than it is there because it's a 4-wheel drive, 5-speed BMW with snow tires on it. And I just have no use for it there. I don't want a 4-wheel drive car in California. I love this car in snow. I don't like it in any other situation, and I don't want it there. So I'm going to sell it here and use the money, whatever little money this car can bring, to finance the move and, you know, expenses. That'll be quickly liquidated into not very long expenses. So we're going through Peninsula here. We're going to flip around again. So, yeah, so moving in December, the M5 is going to be shipped, but as you know, it is having an engine built for it right now. Seems like a couple people didn't know. I bought an engine out of a 2002 M5 with 122,732 miles on it, and I'm having that motor rebuilt instead of the one that I have now. The one I have now is a 2000 with higher miles, and it would need more work, and it's not worth it. So I'm going to sell that and put the O2 in. The O2s have less consumption, and they have seemingly less issues with carbon buildup and oil consumption and carbon output. So those are all reasons that I've gone with the O2. That engine should be done, installed, completed. I should have the car back in my garage, fingers crossed, in the best shape it's ever been in since it rolled off the factory production line. That should be done May 1st. I want that done in March into April. I want a car back and clean May 1st. From there, I'm going to drive it through the summer, put a couple thousand miles on it, break everything in, hopefully all goes well. And come the September-October time frame, I'm going to put that car in a truck and have it shipped to San Diego, where I will fly out, take delivery of it, and then it's going to sit in front of the house, in front of my dad's house, in the shade of that tree. So less than ideal, no garage space, but if there's any city in the world where I am going to be comfortable with it sitting out, it's going to be the safe and beautiful climatory, is that a word? City of San Diego, California. And that will be for as long as I bum off my dad. I'm very fortunate in the fact that he lives there. He has a 4-bedroom house with 3 bedrooms empty. He and I make a decent team, so I'll squat there for a while until I get my Apple CEO job and a couple million coming in annually, and then I'll go build a huge place up in the hills. Wishful thinking perhaps there, but that's going to be the plan, at least initially. I don't really know what kind of a job I want. I'm a senior in college that doesn't know exactly what he wants to do. So we're going to figure that out, play it as it lies, and make something work. It always works out, and I'm not too worried about it. So we'll get something going there, and then figure out what I want to do. But I know that's where I want to be. I know that's where I've known that's where I've wanted to be for a long time now, and I'm excited to make it happen. It's going to be weird. You know, I've been here my entire life. All of my family is here except for my dad, and it's going to be a really, really weird adjustment period to leave the majority of the friends that I have. I am fortunate that I totally work online, so I can do that from anywhere, so that won't be any sort of a hiccup. As long as I have an internet connection in California, I'll be fine. But I've got friends there, you know, Hassan and Sam. I know people out there, so that'll make it a little easier. But the majority of people that I do spend time with, Alex, Razvan, Kenan, Joe, they're all here. I know a lot of people here, and it's going to be hard to leave them. Everybody asks, what are your mom and sister doing? Well, my sister's a sophomore at Kent, so she's going to be here finishing her education for a while longer. My mom's mom is going to be 90 next month, so they're definitely going to be together here for at least a while longer. I know neither my mom or sister really love Ohio. I don't know too many people that do. I don't know what their plan is. I don't see them wanting to do the whole San Diego thing, but I don't know where they're going. But we are going to sell the house that you guys know in Hudson. It's too big, it's too much house, and it'd be too expensive for them to try to live there, and they can't take care of it like I do. Having that yard mowed would be $60 a week. Everything else that's done around the house, any maintenance, you know, it would be impossible for them to do, and the place would go downhill fast. So they're going to end up in, I don't know, some sort of apartment or something a little bit more practical for their purposes for as long as they're here. What else? We're at 14 minutes. I think I've hit this topic fairly well. I know I'm going to get a bunch of questions though. Let me think. I guess a couple more moving logistics. So if the car ships out in September or October of this year, gets to San Diego, great. Now the 330 assumes the garage spot. I drive that for as long as I'm here. I'm probably going to put this car on the market next late summer, early fall, but the contingency factor is going to be I need it at least up until sometime in December. And prospective buyers aren't going to want to hear, yeah, I want the car, but I can't have it for 3 months. I need a car now. That's going to be difficult to make that sale work on such terms, but we'll figure that out. So if the M5's out of here in the fall, now I've got to get all my shit, a bunch of furniture, clothes, a small amount of car parts, you know, just everything that I have. I've got to get that to California. So how's that work? Well, we're not hiring a moving company. That's expensive to sell. In addition to my stuff, though, you know, there's other furniture in the house that, since the house is going to be sold, that my dad's going to want out in California. So we're going to end up doing something similar to what we did last time, which was rent a Penske truck, big box truck, and load it up and then drive it out. So we do have another cross-country road trip to look forward to next winter at some point. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get anybody to come on that, because it'll be my dad and I in a truck, which is 2 people, and he and I equals 2. So move all of that out, it's gonna be a hell of a lot of work. It's gonna be an experience, it's gonna be fun, it'll be worth it, it'll pay off in the long run. So that is the move to California story, origin, plans, expectations. And another thing I'm gonna touch on in this video are the vlogs. So I started these things December 2010. So we're looking at 5 years in, less than 1,000 subscribers. It's been terribly unsuccessful in that respect. And I never made this channel to attempt to gain any sort of a following or any of that. I don't really want that. These videos are more for me than anybody else. They happen to go on YouTube as a way of archiving them, and I've met a lot of cool people through that. It's really neat for me to be able to look back on, let's say, Christmas, and go look at Christmas 2011 and see what I did. And even though I don't film the majority of the day because it's too boring or I just don't want to, I remember from the ending clips and whatnot exactly what I have done and what has happened that day. It's a really cool archive to be able to look back a hell of a long time and have, well, what it is, a video diary, a log of everything that's gone on in the past 5 years. It's annoying sometimes. I sometimes want to take time off. Then when I do take time off, like the cruise and a week with no uploads, it is hellish to sit down and edit all that together and do it all in a timely fashion. Every day I don't do it is another day I'm behind. So it's a little stressful in that respect sometimes. And it's really hard to do something every single day for 5 years. I challenge any of you to it. Pick a task, pick something, and do it every day for 5 years without a day off. Now you might say I've had a day off, I haven't uploaded, that's true. There has never gone a 24-hour period where I have not filmed some clip. We've had some short ones, we've had some bad ones, we've had some that are, I think there was one that was less than 20 seconds one day. But it was a video and it made it up. And I edited that, I posted it, and it's up there. I don't know the date, but it's there. Let's see if we can get DSC here. We get ABS, that's it. So, how long are they gonna go? I don't know. I kind of want to say that I'm gonna take it through the move to California. They're gonna stop at a pivotal point. It's not just gonna be a random day where they stop. When they stop might be the move to California. So I vlogged my last 6 years in Ohio. I could say that. The last 6 years I spent in Ohio, where I was born and grew up, every single day is accounted for in a video form. Or maybe California starts an entirely new chapter. That would be a totally different, much more exciting life. Maybe that's the ultimate place to keep going and go the first year or the first 10 years. I don't know. I don't know how long they're gonna go. As long as anybody watches them and as long as I still think it's cool to look back at my past, they'll probably continue to exist. Now we're in the fun roads here. These are the nice roads coming in and out of Peninsula. Beautiful in the snow, actually. Actually, you know what? This is kind of a bad place to stop. If I put the hazards on, this would be a cool place to take a picture of the car. I'm gonna do that. Okay, back moving. So to recap, I've got about 1 year left here to finish school, to pack up, to sell this house, to sell my grandparents' house, to sell 2 of their remaining 2 cars, and move to California. It's gonna be a totally different life. There's a lot of change, more change than I've ever dealt with going on in the next year. My dad's parents, the ones that are in the apartment complex, they're doing about as well as I can for 2 90-year-olds. They're there, they are not looking forward to my move. I looked at 4 colleges before I chose Kent State University. Kent State University was not one of the 4 that I even toured. I looked at 4 in California. I really wanted to go to California for school. That would have been a catalyst for my dad to move out there. That didn't work out for family reasons. I have always been very close to my grandparents. I've spent 1 day a week with them since I was too young to remember. Since they've left the house now and they're in the place down an hour away, I'm there about every 2 weeks, go down and take them out to dinner or whatever and spend some time. So that's been an adjustment. But it's going to be very different being thousands of miles away. Thankfully, we have technology in the way of phones and FaceTime, not that they could use FaceTime, but whatever, to stay in touch. So, and who knows what could be different in a year's time. But yeah, a lot of change, and I hope you guys stick with it as long as I do anyways, and we'll go from there. So that's going to be the California clip. If you have questions, comment them. I will probably do a little bit of a follow-up. I'm sure that I missed something or was unclear with something, and we'll remedy that in a later video. What a stark contrast California is going to be to here, though. I mean, totally different culture, totally different landscape, totally different history, totally different kind of people, totally different cities, completely different climate. Everything is like polar opposite of Northeastern Ohio. And you know, I don't give it enough credit. Northeastern Ohio can be a really cool place to be, but it is not what I am looking for. About half your life is spent under totally gray, overcast skies like this, driving on roads covered in salt, destroying your car. Things are white with snow. Everything is dead and brown for winter. It is freezing outside. It is 23 degrees currently, going to 7 degrees tonight. It's largely uninhabitable for half the years. It's dangerously cold and unsafe outside. Versus California that, you know, they all put their damn snow tires on if it goes down to 50 and rains for a day. But I love the vibrant culture there from Mexico. I like the language. I took 2 years of Spanish. I don't know very much of it, admittedly, but I can look at street names and get an idea if they're Del Mar of the sea or Del Sol of the sun. You know, I can get an idea for that. There's so much more to do, being that you're in big cities with, you know, entertainment districts and a lot of restaurants. There's a lot of business there. My major being business management, that's so broad. Business management. Okay, so I can manage a business about automotive parts. I can do parts. I could do contracting. I could do public services. I could do freaking cosmetics. I could do whatever. Everything's a business, and all business requires people and resource management. So that's broad enough. I'm confident that wherever I go, I can find something that I can do, and that's good. I am not going to miss seasonal depression of weeks and weeks on end of just gray, dead, no shadows, shit weather. You go to California and you've got your deep blue skies, mountains, twisty canyon roads. It's just, it's the polar opposite of being here. And there's not to say I won't miss things. This is where I've lived for 22 years and where I've grown up and where 90% of my memories have happened. And not to say I won't come back. You know, I still have family here, still have a ton of friends here. It's a little bit more fun when friends come out to California for a week, but we'll be back here. Well, I got home and decided to take a little better care of this, so we topped up the oil to almost the fill line on the dipstick, added maybe a cup or two of 50/50 antifreeze, and now it should be happy for a while. I don't like dashboard lights. They all bother me, so that's done. Lindsay went back to Kent today in preparation for the semester starting Tuesday, so the Civic's gone, which means I can actually park and get out of the car now. When she's here, she's so close to the 3 Series, so my mom can get out of the garage, I can't even open my door, so that's one pro of her being gone. There's a new Genesis. Explain.
Well, this is my aquarium setup in my room with a coyote pelt. If you don't think that's cool, then... But yeah, I just got 3 new fish in there floating. There's a total of 4 in there right now. This bastard killed one of my other ones, so he's in quarantine right now.
I think he's dead.
No, he's not dead.
Is he sleeping?
No, he actually might be just resting. They don't move when you tap on the tanks.
Oh, if you tap hard enough.
There's a snake in that one. I don't think you ever told the vlogs that.
He's hiding.
Yeah, it says she. Move your head.
Zara?
Yeah, Zara. She's in there. It's kind of wobbly. Sorry, I'm using one hand. I'll give this back to the man who owns this channel.
I'm gonna film when you left the fish out.
Okay.
See where they go. You just bought, what are these things called?
Cichlids.
Cichlid rocks?
Yeah, those are cichlid rocks. The thing right in front of it, right there, is a cichlid. That's a jewel cichlid. The other ones are kind of hiding right now. There's a transcriptus back there by the filter. There's another one behind this coral rock right there. You won't be able to see him. And there's the compressor sep right there, who I just got a brother for. Same species, so maybe they'll breed.
He's getting an upgrade in his rent. Little bag. Big apartment building.
Come on, swim out.
He's afraid.
He's going down.
Can you get me that box real quick? I'm sorry. You're not going the right way. There you go.
That's the fast one.
No, this is the Calbus. The Demisoni's the fast one. Come on. There we go.
Good morning, welcome back. It's 1:34. We're going to keep things tight tonight, seeing that it is a very long video. Anyways, talking about the California plans. After that, Alex came over, picked me up. We went up to this fish store. It's called something Aqua Marine. I don't know what it was. Some fish pet store in Cleveland. Went up there. He bought a couple things. Brought those back to the house. He's got a nice 55-gallon fish tank going. Dropped those suckers in there. Had some pizza for dinner with his family. Hung out there for a couple hours. Came back here. Watched the tail end of the Democratic debates, and I am now getting ready for bed. Very tired. It's about 1:40, so I'm going to head up to bed. It's going to finish today. Tomorrow's Monday. It's Martin Luther King Day. The semester doesn't start tomorrow. It's Tuesday, so I get tomorrow off. A little bit of preparation work tomorrow. Just reading some syllabi, see what will be expected of me throughout the semester. And Cavaliers v Warriors tomorrow night. Probably won't end well, but it should be a good one to watch. So, talk with you guys tomorrow. Good night.